where the bad pianos start to show. Keys all out of tune, just watch them go. Welcome to Adam and Joe talking nonsense on the Outside Scoop podcast show.
Welcome
to the Outside Scoop.
Ooh, the Outside Scoop. Welcome back, everyone.
Here we are.
Joe's got quite an interesting topic this week. We're going straight in. We've got no beginning fluff for you this week.
No?
Well, I say this week. Today.
What's this, episode 13?
Episode 13.
Oh. Actually, that's funny. Episode 13.
Episode 13.
I thought we could talk about taking risks.
Ooh, taking risks.
So, it's kind of a thing there, I guess.
Yeah,
13 risks.
Yeah, well, risks can be unlucky.
Yeah.
You can have an unlucky strike, can't you? An
You
unlucky time with a risk.
Yeah.
You can also have a very lucky time with a risk.
We can. We can.
And what is a risk?
What is a risk?
What is a risk? What is a risk to individual people? Some people would say a risk for some people may not be for others.
Everyone has a different
threshold.
Threshold, yeah. So it's kind of continuing almost, if I think about it. We seem to be in this job thing at the moment.
We're job orientated right now.
So we episode 11 we talked about new jobs. Episode 12 just talked about this advertising sales job which I had.
Yeah. And
now I want to talk about taking risks in your life and how some people do and how some people just they can't. They could never imagine taking the smallest. They like to be safe. There's not anything against them. It's just how you're wired.
Well, it's just I think that comes back down to thresholds again. I think, for some people, what you would go, or those people don't really like taking risks. Their threshold may be if you almost quantize it. It's just your risk threshold is higher.
Yeah.
So you look at someone and go, well, they don't take risks. You go, well, actually, for them, they feel like they are. They feel like they're being quite risky with the things they're doing.
Yeah.
And
they might look at something that you or I might do and go, A, how do you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, why are you taking that risk when,
Yeah.
But also, why would you do that? It's going to go wrong. There's those thoughts, isn't there? And
we come across risk in every aspect of our daily lives all the time.
Well,
from the second you wake up, there's risks, and I don't just mean the dangerous things. It can be something as mundane as putting your pants on.
Well, you could trip over.
That's a risky thing.
Yeah, it's a risky thing.
Jumping in your car.
You might put the wrong pants on.
You might put the wrong pants on.
But that's a really interesting one, actually, you just mentioned, is getting in the car.
Yeah.
Getting in the car is basically the most dangerous thing that any of us do.
In our daily life.
In our daily life, we get in a car and go for a drive to do something mundane, and it's the most dangerous and I would say therefore riskiest thing we do.
Yeah.
And we do it without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And yet, for some people, buying a £1 scratch card.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's too much. We'll do that. But we'll just jump in the car and go.
But that's taking a risk. Playing the scratch cards, doing the lottery, eating that bit of chicken in the fridge. Has it been in there for too long?
I don't know. I'll go by the sniff test now.
If it smells good, it probably is good.
Yeah, if it smells sweet and sour, that just means it's aged. I like my chicken and nuts medium rare.
So,
don't eat raw chicken, by the way.
No, don't do that. Otherwise you end up like I was last year and ended up in A&E.
Oh, that was a risk. And that was a risk we didn't know we were taking.
No, because I ordered a vegetarian meal.
Oh, my God. So, we'll give you... the risk has now turned into a story of me picking up a lathe.
Yep. About this time last year.
Yeah. Oh. Should we do the whole story? Should we tell them? We're here now.
I'll go for it, yeah.
Yeah. So, I was offered a lathe by a family member from a deceased family member, but it was 2.5 hours away. For those that don't know, lathes are turning tools, they're engineering tools, quite heavy, when I say quite heavy, really bloody heavy. Anyway, the story goes, we had to...
And this is from a member of the family which is very much on the fringes of your...
Oh, yeah, I don't know them.
Yeah.
No, I don't know them. Well, I didn't know them.
Was it a second cousin or a second uncle?
My dad's uncle.
Your dad's uncle,
My
that was
dad's
it.
uncle, yeah.
So really nothing to you, is that? Your dad's uncle.
I never met him.
Yeah.
I might have met him once or twice, but not anything to... Not in the last 20 years.
Yeah. So your dad's uncle dies, your dad phones you up, there's a lathe going for you.
Yeah, there's a lathe if you want it, and me being me, I mean, even it cost me $1,000 to pick up something that cost 500 quid. I'm there. I suppose the risk taking started early on in the day, didn't it? Actually, overall it was a very risky day.
Oh,
because
we were going to take the
start with,
Land Rover,
we
weren't
were
we?
going to take your Range Rover.
Yeah.
But your Range Rover had a flat tyre. So the risk was we were going to take the Range Rover. The night before, Joe messages me and he goes, "You're not going to believe this, but I've got a flat tyre." So, as mentioned before, we have a plethora of vehicles at our disposal. None of them work. We decided that we were going to take the wheels off of the Discovery that was at your house.
Yeah.
Which meant picking up the tools from the barn, bringing them to your house. Joe's house, me and Joe live 40 minutes away from each other. Bringing them over to Joe's, changing the wheels over, and then off we go. The risk is, we don't know what state the lathe's in. We knew it was a tabletop lathe, which means it gets bolted to a table rather than being a whole floor standing unit. But that would mean we couldn't bring the bench. But, you know, that was something I was willing to do. Get to Joe's, and yes, he's got a flat tyre. But also, the Discovery isn't starting. And the problem for the Discovery not starting is that one of the wheels was obscured by a funny wall in his courtyard, in your garden, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that was a problem there.
So that knocked that idea on the head.
Well, yeah, basically a combination of breaking the earth strap on the battery of the Range Rover.
Yeah.
That knackered getting the Discovery started, and then we pulled a wheel off of the Range Rover. It could be stupid 22-inch wheels, and it had spacers on it. So, this isn't working. So then the next thing we did was, right, let's hire a van. No big deal in that. I rang up my wife. Can you hire me a van? Because if I try and do it, I'm going to shout at someone down the phone. So she dealt with that for me. Although then they were late with the van. They took a risk. I said, yeah, we've got a van for you. And
they didn't.
They didn't. It was further away from the depot we were picking it up from than we were at the time.
Yeah, we could have gone to get it.
We should have gone the other way to pick it up.
Yeah.
But in that intervening time, Joe bought a boat.
Yes. Had a couple of hours on our hands.
Why not buy a boat? Joe bought an Enterprise dinghy. That was the risk Joe took then. So then pick up the van, off we go to Leeds. That's all pretty all right, wasn't it? Got it loaded.
Yep, no consequences there.
No consequences there. On the way home though,
picked up a few other bits and pieces.
Yeah,
didn't
a
you?
few nice tools and things like
Had
that.
loads of stuff going, didn't they? And
yeah. It's one of those sad moments, isn't it, where I don't like just raiding a person's personal belongings, you know, because they're dead. But it's like, well, what else is going to happen to it? I don't want to feel like the Gannet. That's what I don't, you know.
Yeah.
Tricky. Although, remember the good. There was another risk. This episode's all about risks. Remember?
Yeah.
There was a good one. Was it? Do you remember the dragons?
Oh yeah, the dragons. Oh.
So we were asked by. We were basically. I was asked by the lad whose parents had died to take. She's got his mum liked these two ceramic dragons.
Yeah.
And I thought that I think they look quite cool, you know.
You've grown to like them, haven't
but they're
you?
not. Yeah, but they're not traditionally pretty. They are quite out there.
Yeah.
And so the risk we took is, well, yeah, we'll take them. My wife will either love them because she loves them, or she'll hate them and it will be funny. And she still doesn't know which she is. But yeah, so now we're driving home. Now it's dinner time. Now Joe and I have an unwritten rule. We may never have even spoken about this, but the unwritten rule is we'll help each other out no matter what, but the helper has his lunch bought for him by the helpee.
Yeah.
So if I need a job doing, I buy the food.
Yeah.
If Joe needs a job doing, he buys the food. So I said, do you know what, Joe? I've got a good one here. We're not having burgers today. We're going to go to a Asian fast food restaurant. I'm not going to say the name of it. An Asian fast food restaurant in one of the services. And you was a bit, I don't know. I said, no, it's nice. And I've had this lots of times. Lots and lots and lots I've had this. And I like the quite traditional katsu curry and white rice.
Yeah.
I like that. Big portion of it. Double portions, please, love.
Yeah.
Load it up.
Double bubble.
Box that's leaking. And just push it in as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Really get that MSG pushed into your brain. It's great stuff. And what did you do? You did mention it a minute ago, but go on.
Part of it was, let's be healthy.
Yeah.
We've been on the road all day. We haven't done a lot.
We're not going to have burgers and chips.
Yeah, let's be healthy. So we get the noodly kind of Asian, supposedly healthy option.
Vegetable version.
I went for the vegetable version.
I went for the deep fried chicken.
And I looked at a couple of reasons I went for the vegetable version. Well, I didn't go in there thinking I'm the vegetarian meal to start with.
Right.
But I looked at the counter and this has been held for quite some time.
Yeah.
And having hospitality experience, I know how long these things shouldn't be, you know. And I just like, don't like the look at that.
Just to interject, that's why I always go for the katsu curry, the chicken katsu.
Yeah.
Because it's popular.
Yeah.
If people go to these places, I want the chicken katsu. I want the chicken curry and rice, basically.
Yeah.
So because of that, they turn it over quick, so it's always ready. It's always fresh.
Anyway. So yeah, I look at it, and because it's in the services, and because there's a Burger King or a McDonald's next door, they're the ones that get 95% of the service, don't they? Everyone goes to the Burger King or the McDonald's or the KFC.
Or they go to W.H. Smith for a sandwich.
Yeah, and then you have these other vendors, one doing the jacket potatoes, one doing the noodles. And
you get is it the British good food that do the terrible breakfasts?
Yeah, and it's like, these guys, the food isn't getting turned over. It's getting turned over a bit, like you alluded to, but it's not like freshly cooked. No. That's one thing you can say about a McDonald's.
It's always,
it's freshly cooked.
It's no more than 5 minutes cooked time, is it?
It's not been held there under a lamp. And so I looked at it, I was like, I was looking at the chopping boards. I basically had a quick glance at this scene. Yeah. Decided I'll go for the vegetarian one, because that's just going to be the safest option. Yeah. I'm not a fussy eater.
No, not by any means.
I'll eat anything.
Yeah.
I'll eat it raw. Yeah. I'll eat it cooked. I don't care, but just some food.
It's got to be clean.
Having the hospitality background and seeing how some kitchens have operated, you kind of go, ooh.
Yeah, you know
what you know.
Get a feeling.
Yeah. And anyway,
at this point,
I should have listened to my gut, basically.
Joe didn't say any of this to me at the time. Yeah. He didn't go, I ain't sure about this ad.
Yeah.
If he'd have gone, I don't like the look of that, I'd have gone, right, Burger King.
Yeah.
Would have been straight
Just
there.
needed an excuse to go to Burger King.
Yeah, all he had to do was tell me.
Yeah.
That was all, and he didn't. He kept it to himself.
And anyway, ordered it, had the vegetarian version or whatever it was.
It was just a veggie curry and noodles.
And within 24 hours...
It was less, no.
I was peaky on the way home, weren't I?
Immediately. So Joe is a very savoury boy. Joe's not about pudding.
Yeah.
He's all about the main course. And we finished our little Asian cuisine, our little discovery.
Yeah.
And Joe went, I need a sweetie.
Yeah.
I'm like, Joe needs a sweetie. And we went and got a donut.
Yeah.
I'm like, Joe needs a sweetie. That ain't right. There's something wrong here already. I didn't really think, we'll tell you the stories that's coming. I didn't think this was going to happen, but I was like, Joe, this is different. Joe never has a donut. He doesn't go, let's have a donut.
His body's going, you're going to need some
quick energy, son.
Because all hell's about to be unleashed.
An evacuation is about to... So, Joe is not feeling happy at this point. Like,
I get in a van and I'm thinking, I'm a bit tired. I've got a bit of headache. I'm a bit tired. It's been a long, hot day. It was a hot day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
we've done a lot of work. Moving a lathe is heavy work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like moving a beached whale.
It's just big, heavy, and horrible. And hurts because it's all got spiky bits.
Trying to cut you constantly.
Yeah, there's nowhere to hold it.
Yeah.
So we get back to our original... I had a garage to start with. We get back there, and I was like, right, we've got to get this unloaded. And I could see it in Joe's eyes that I'm tired. I'm really tired. I need to go home. So we my plan was to sort of get it out, give it a tidy. You know, Joe and I never run away. We usually got another hour in us before we're done. And he was like, I need to go home. I'm tired. So we're getting back to his car. No, did I take you home? I took you home.
No, you would have taken me home, yeah, because all my cars were broken.
Yeah.
Which they always are, but they were broken,
weren't they? They were broken, bro. So I took you home, and I got a message from Gemma the next day, not from you. I messaged you, got no reply. I got a message from Gemma saying, Joe's not very well. Do you know what's wrong with him? And basically, what was it you had? You spent, it was over a week in bed and on the toilet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
just everything, I couldn't keep anything down or anything in.
And it was the following Wednesday you finally got to the hospital, wasn't it?
Yeah, because just everything
even
hurt.
Walter was...
Yeah, it was just all passing straight through.
Yeah.
And I was on the toilet every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was forcing liquids down just because
You've
got to stay hydrated. And I was having this, I don't know what you call it now, but it was like this sachet thing with...
Oh, it's the rice starch, isn't it?
Yeah.
The blackcurrant flavoured rice
And
starch.
that did nothing for me.
Which is mad, because when I've been in this position before and had that, I can't remember, Diarrhea. Is it Diarrhea? And I had one of them, and it basically tidied me up.
Yeah.
I felt it run through, and I was like, oh, hang on a minute, things are feeling solid again.
Yeah, nothing firmed up, and I was just a week, 10 days of pure, just agony, uncomfortable, sweating, cold, hot, and proper, genuine food poisoning.
And it was Campylobacter?
Yeah.
Proper food poisoning. One step away from Ebola, basically.
And you get this from raw chicken.
Oh dear.
I like the vegetarian meal.
And you had the vegetarian meal.
And that was nice.
Oh dear.
Sometimes I get that smell.
Yeah.
Come back through.
Yeah. And that's the risk, though, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, this episode is about risk.
Yeah.
And you, at that point, you didn't feel like you was taking a risk. You was taking the lowest level of risk, and you was knackered.
Done. Absolutely done in.
I think what we can learn from it is perceived risk is different from actual risk sometimes.
So the risk I actually wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I'll just do a quick time check.
No, we're fine. We're fine.
Oh, well, what are we doing?
We're 17 in.
Oh, we only 17 in?
Yeah, that story only took quarter of an hour.
That's fine. I'll give me the time I want.
We try and aim for half hour to an hour, don't we?
Yeah. I think 45 minutes is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Just that little...
Sometimes it can be a bit much to get there, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, tell us your story. Weave your web.
Yeah, taking risks. So I've always been a bit of a risk taker. I think it can go back to early, when I first started working, I think, and the guy I used to work with, Big Fat Pete, selling sunglasses.
Big Orange Pete.
Down on South End Seafront. Watching him work, and just like, here's my first proper... I had jobs beforehand, but that was the first time I kind of did any real amount of work.
Well, it wasn't, that was the first job you had where it wasn't a task.
Yeah.
It was a job. You know, when you're young, you get given a task.
Yeah.
Don't you? Your task today is to wipe the cars down.
Yeah.
You know, or your job today is to, I don't know, take the bins out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's your job is to go around and litter pick.
Yeah.
You know, you get given a task, not a job.
Yeah. So first job, and just watching how he operated, he was a bit of a dodgy bloke outside of the arcades in Southend.
He used to feed the parking meters.
Yeah, he used to feed the parking meters. he used to duck and dive if you needed something. I wasn't old enough to know then, but I'm pretty sure he was the guy you go to if you needed something.
Yeah, yeah. He wasn't selling. It was sunglasses, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He wasn't selling sunglasses because he needed the money.
Contacts. So anyway, I think just looking at him, I kind of picked up a little bit of his approach to life in terms of, does it really matter?
Go out and grab it.
Yeah, just go get it. I think was what I might have picked up from that, and not something I'm just kind of starting to realise now. Maybe I'm thinking about where do I get the confidence to take these jumps and do stuff? Where does that come from? So anyway, let's go back in 1 o'clock 10 years, and I'm working, and I'm about to have my first child, and I'm thinking,
Name check Bertie.
hi Bertie,
Hello, Bertie.
and I'm thinking, what do I want? What do I want out of being a parent?
Yeah.
And how am I going to bring up this thing?
This ball of biology.
Yeah. What am I going to do? Having a job, I'm not earning enough money doing the job. I was earning okay money, but I was petrified. The second I found out we were pregnant, I was like,
Oh dear.
oh dear. And I spent every penny I had on buying wipes and nappies, and I think I had about a year's worth of wipes.
Yeah. He just went, I am not running out of this stuff.
Yeah, I decided it's huge fears of me just not being able to afford nappies.
Really?
Or wipes, or just basic cleaning
I think
stuff.
that's a fair thing to.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that
be
this
worried
baby's
about.
going to be fine.
Yeah.
You know, as long as if we've got a year's worth of stuff, so I've got nappies going up through the sizes. I've got all the wipes I could. I was looking around trying to find the best deals on wipes because I didn't know what the price of fish was.
You don't know what they are.
No. So I'm just finding that out for
Are
the
they
first
a pound
time.
a wipe or are they a
Yeah.
tenth of a penny a wipe?
And
Who
we're getting
knows?
all the clothes and we're getting all the toys and just making sure that I've got everything I can. Make sure that at least the first 2 years sorted.
Be all right.
And I won't have to worry about have I got
Nappies.
10 quid to buy nappies,
Yeah.
kind of thing. I don't want to be in that position.
No. Well, we know plenty of people who have been.
Yeah.
Don't we? And
Yeah.
it's not nice.
It's not nice. So took the risk of starting my own business.
Shocking.
Just and I didn't have a penny. I honestly didn't have a penny.
Just went, I'll just do it and see how it goes.
I'll just do it and see how it goes. Like the day Bertie was born, I might have had like 20, 30 quid.
Yeah.
And just thought, I need to start my own business. I need to be able to write my own destiny.
Yeah.
2 things I wanted out of it. I wanted to be able to earn the amount of money I needed to earn,
Yeah.
and I wanted to have more time and freedom
Yeah.
to be able to bring up this child.
Yeah.
And I think I managed to do that. Looking back, of course you
did.
it seemed to work. I don't know. I can't tell you how it worked.
You just.
I just took the risk though of packing in my job
Yeah.
and starting a business.
Just going for it.
And I just got on the phones. I got on websites. I found leads. I started phoning people, and to make things for them, to make things for them on the internet. And I used to outsource that stuff to.
So it's like it's taking a project management role almost,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's
People would want websites or mobile apps built.
yeah.
I'd phone and cold call and find these people, and then I'd get their details and get the project scoped out,
Yeah.
and get somebody in India to build it.
Well, that's how it's all done.
And that's how that one started, and it kind of grew from there. But yeah, that was a big risk.
Yeah.
And then I took on another risk by deciding to get into hospitality
Yeah.
about 8-7 years ago.
Was it that? Yeah, it was that. long
Yeah,
ago.
about then, and not been in hospitality ever before.
Oh, the only thing that you have in common with the industry of hospitality is you like food. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You've always seen yourself as a bit of a restaurateur, but in actual fact, just
Yeah.
blackened peppers at home and made steak.
Yeah. And so I bought this cafe. Calf.
It was I would call it a biker cafe.
Cafe.
Yeah, I would call it a biker's cafe.
Yeah.
It was a little posh, but you could go in there and get a bacon roll and a cup of tea.
Yeah. So I did that, and I took
That
the
went
risk
well.
there. That was good. Sold that, and took a risk in getting pubs.
Why not? Some of them didn't pay off.
Some of it didn't pay off, and it was actually it was tough. It was really, really hard work.
Well, it still is.
It still is.
Yeah.
But the first couple of years getting into the pub game,
that was crippling, wasn't it?
that was I was fighting tooth and nail to keep the businesses alive.
Yeah.
Absolutely, no one will know how hard that was.
No, that was.
It was soul destroying.
Yeah. I mean, we don't ever talk about these things directly, but
Yeah,
knowing you how I know you are,
yeah,
I did look at it all and go, oh dear, oh dear, oh that's not a risk I would have taken.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have, because you did take on these pubs 2021, so second year of COVID.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Why not?
Why not take on a business that relies on foot traffic when nobody's allowed outside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the risk paid off.
Yeah, well, it's paying off.
It's paying off.
I wouldn't say it's paid off.
Yeah, it's not at the end of the journey yet.
But it's almost wiping its own arse.
Yeah.
Almost.
And then doing a beer festival this year.
Now we're talking risks. Oh dear.
I remember sat down in start of this year, 2024, in January.
Can I add a preface to this?
Yeah.
Actually, at the end of the last beer festival, me and you were sitting there. We'd had a couple of sherries at this point. If we're honest, it was 3 days worth of sherries.
Yeah.
But we were sitting there, and you said to me, "Next year, bigger." And
Yeah.
I was just like, "What do you mean bigger? This is, well, the beer festival didn't do well last year. The weather ruined it."
Yeah.
And you said, "Next year, we're having a proper away from the pub in a football field, big tent, generators, music, 2 days, massive, proper, not a party in the back garden, a beer festival."
That's probably verbatim, that. Exactly what I said. And...
Well, that's what I vaguely remember it
No,
being.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I said. And so the beer festivals we had before, they not festivals in the sense of scale.
They were great fun.
They were good fun.
They were good fun for us.
Yeah, it was a medium-sized gazebo in the car park. We had a bar in.
Yeah.
There was live music. It was a bit of fun.
It was more of a pub party.
Yeah.
Weekend party, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
And it just, the cost versus benefit didn't weigh up. So it costs quite a lot to do these things. You've got to hire this in, you've got to hire that in, you've got the extra stock, the extra staff.
Well, the bar and the gazebo alone is $2,500.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
And then you've got to pay the music guys.
Yeah.
And typically, music people, bands as such, they want anywhere between 180 quid to 300 quid, which is fine. I've got no problem with that.
It's not saying that they're not worth it.
Yeah.
It's the money coming in to pay for it.
Yeah. So,
If it was just a party, it would be great, but it's a business.
yeah. So, said, needs to be bigger. And that was the end of it until January this year.
Yeah.
And I sat down and I was looking at the year ahead. And I was thinking, what are we doing this year? And I thought about the beer festival. And just decided, you were sat there with me.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to do I'm going to do that. I'm going to make it bigger.
I'm going to do the beer festival this
Yeah,
year.
and it's going to be bigger, and it's going to be a proper beer festival.
Yeah. I remember you telling me it was going to be down at, well, no, let's advertise it here. Cross Keys in, it was Penrith Beer Festival
Yeah,
down at Frenchfield.
yeah,
You said, I'm going to do it at Frenchfield,
yeah.
which is it's just slightly bigger than a rugby pitch,
Yeah.
football pitch.
It's council-owned amenity field, they call it, and it's set up as a rugby pitch.
And you said, I'm going to do it there. And I just thought, oh my God. Oh my God. I don't have any financial implication in it. But anything Joe does, I will jump out the plane with him. if I will, in the same way that Joe will jump out the plane with me if need be.
Yeah,
We will jump out the plane together. And I just thought to myself, oh my God.
yeah. So that day, I more or less planned the entire beer festival. I contacted as many people as I could.
You did everything you thought you needed to do without any outside help, didn't you? And you pretty much, you got 80% of it right.
Yeah,
Didn't you?
I phoned the council, asked about the field.
Yeah.
Are they into it? What do I need to do?
Yeah.
I started
Phoned up
talking
security,
to security guys.
fencing,
Yeah.
toilets, gazebo,
Just trying to get
stage,
an idea on the
just
costs.
to get an idea of money. And it was just brought it together within a week.
And we're now looking at it being in less than 3 weeks' time.
I'm quite nervous.
I'm starting to lose sleep over it. I didn't think I would, but it's probably the biggest thing I've actually.
No, it is the biggest thing you've
Yeah,
ever
apart
done.
from getting You know, apart from like the marriage and having children and
no,
buying
They're a
houses.
different column, aren't they? This is
In my
professional
commercial
business
life,
yeah,
this is the biggest thing I've ever done.
it's the biggest risk you've ever taken.
Yeah,
because there is some.
I've gone from organising parties in the back of a pub to putting on what I think and I hope will be a proper mini festival.
It would be nice. I think the numbers that we're looking at. It would be nice if there was 1,000 people over the weekend at this point.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? I think it would look after itself at those numbers.
Yeah, and what are the risks? The risks are, I don't know what I'm doing. Never have done. Never will do.
Well, none of us ever do till you do it.
Some people might look at me and go, oh, he knows what he's doing. But,
No.
and we'll talk about this in another one, imposter syndrome. Like,
well,
we both have it massively, don't we?
We've always called it the blag, haven't we?
Yeah.
Since we were kids, well, I'm just going to blag it and see what happens.
Get on with it.
You know?
We always feel like an imposter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how long you've done it for, whatever. Which is why, I won't get into that. But
Another conversation for another day.
So it's in a couple of weeks' time.
3 weeks.
And
Penrith Beer Festival, get your tickets online.
I'm putting 25, 30 grand on the line of money I don't have. Never have it.
We never do have the money.
Never have the money, but somehow find it.
It at the moment you're breaking even, just
Hopefully,
with tickets and projected sales of beer and such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
It
just
should be all
it's
right.
taking those risks, and you just got to take these risks. If I didn't take this risk, I'm putting on an event which I'm putting it on. Yeah, I'm putting it on for my own benefit. Of course I am. I'm going to get paid out of this. How much I get paid, we don't know.
That depends on the success of the event.
It might be a few hundred quid. It might be a drink. It might be more.
Yeah, it's the success of the risk,
Yeah,
isn't it?
But I'm trying to build it for the town, for Penrith, so they got something.
Yeah.
That's theirs.
Well, it's nice to. This is why I do what I do.
Yeah.
I'm a building surveyor in the social housing sector, and you're not just taking sales. You're just taking.
Yeah.
Whereas, putting on a beer festival, you're earning a wage out of it because you have to earn money to make it worth doing.
Yeah.
Because we live in a capitalist society.
Yeah.
But it will make Penrith doesn't have potentially a large event like this.
Yeah.
You can walk round all of Penrith in an hour.
Yeah.
So there's no one within Penrith, the town itself, that it can't reach. So it should be something for everyone.
It is, yeah. Oh, well, that's what I'm aiming at as something for everyone. And yeah, there is a country show. If I think about what events the town has, you've got the Penrith Country Show, but and that's its own thing, and it's it
it's
is.
not to say there isn't anything, but there's no like yearly party like let's go and have a beer festival.
Yeah,
it's a different thing.
That's what I'm trying to want it to be. Is that a party for everybody
that anyone can attend?
Yeah,
they've got Kendall calling and stuff like that down the road, but you've got to get the tickets and you've got to go. It's a whole thing. Whereas
that's like 140 quid a ticket, and you're camping out and all that sort of stuff. This is a local event.
Yeah, pop down, have a few beers,
have a boogie woogie,
have a dance,
and then go home, sleep in your own bed.
Yeah,
come back down the next day.
Exactly. And don't we want to do that?
Yeah. So that's taking risks, and you just gotta just do them. I think you never regret doing the risk.
We would not be sitting here doing this podcast if it wasn't for every risk we've ever taken.
You've taken big. You've lived in France. That's a huge risk.
I mean, my whole life is full of risks.
Yeah, you just got to look back and.
But they're always different. I moved from one side of the country to the other before I was 20.
Yeah.
With the girlfriend at the time, but I moved from Southend to Western where you was.
Yeah.
Then moved back again because she was cuckoo Maloo.
Mm-hmm.
Then I spent a few years doing some bits and pieces, and then moved to France on a complete, just a blind trip. Just moved to France on basically a Facebook message.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's go and see if it works, kind of thing. Did that, and then now moving up here, living up here. That was a huge thing.
Yeah, you're quite comfortable in the southeast.
Yeah, things were not great money-wise and comfort-wise, but it was, we were earning money and we were all right. And, and we just Went, right, time to move up north.
Got to north.
Just did it. Just did it.
Everything's better.
Yeah. And there's 100 stories in every single thing we said there. So there's at least, 14,000 more podcasts.
But yeah, my overall point is, I think if you're presented with an opportunity, always take it.
So I do have a story to I think just to cap that off.
Yeah.
When I was younger and money wasn't quite so available, not that it's available now, but it was less available. As said in the motorbike podcast, motorbikes have always been a thing in our family. We've always been into them. And I had the opportunity to buy a bike for not a lot of money, as bikes go. For not a lot of money, as bikes go. And it was £500 for a Kawasaki ZX6. And I told my dad about it. And we was like, yeah, let's buy it. So we told the bloke we were going to buy it, but we've got to save the money. We need to get the money together. It was only going to take a couple of 3 weeks, but we need to get the money together. A couple of weeks later, I rang the bloke up and went, right, we've got the money. Can we come get it? And he went, oh, no, it's sold. And for me, like, that was a bike for my dad.
Yeah.
It was a bit like, oh, that hurts. And I rang up another mate of mine and said, oh, bloody, because like, it was sort of a friend circle. I said, he sold that bike. And my mate said to me, the only thing I can say is you need to strike the iron while it's hot.
Yeah.
Which means take the risk now.
Yeah.
Get it done. Now, yeah, money wasn't available, but could we have found the money in a different way? Maybe. Just, take the risk, do it quick.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Yeah. When the opportunity presents itself, say yes.
Take it, yeah. You only regret the things you didn't do.
Yeah.
That's how I live by anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's all we have time for today.
That's all we have time for today. He pulled a really funny face at me there. Like, subscribe and share, remember, listeners.
And we'll see you same time next time on The Outside Scoop.
The Outside Scoop. Thank you. Goodbye.
Where the bad pianos start to show, keys all out of tune, just watch them go. Welcome to Adam and Joe talking nonsense on the Outside Scoop podcast show.